Okay, amazing, gorgeous souls. I just had so much fun. I listened to a comedian. I don't know, my husband found him. He is hilarious. His name is called, his name is, oh my god, what is it? Koi at the end. Joseph, I think it's Joe Koi. He's a Filipino and it's so fun. You can find him on Netflix. And I literally just had cramps in my jaw from laughing, and it just made me realize that I don't know, collectively, I think, or at least I do, but I think collectively, we just laugh too little. There's like too little laughter going on. So I really want to start off this episode from of today of really like that high vibe, like just have fun, just surround yourself with fun content. And I remember that I did this beautiful um, dream academy a couple of years ago, and a part of our practice in the dream academy was actually listening to um, either a comedian or something fun in the morning, and we did that I think for 30 days straight, and it was so fun. And I remember this one video that one of the women sent in the group. It was so funny. And just like, when was the last time that you really, really laughed out loud? Like you were like, "Oh my god, stop it because I'm gonna pee my pants if you don't stop." That kind of laughter. We have that going on way too little. So that sort of brings me to the thing that I wanted to talk about in this episode, which is actually like the frequency that we surround ourselves with. So by now, you should know that my thing is that um, my thing is calling in that one big desire in just 6 weeks, right? And I know that a lot of beautiful souls that are listening to this episode are like this. You carry this priestess energy around you, right? And you have this deep remembrance of, that you can actually call in your everything, every desire you have in like a second if we were like at that level, right? But most of us are not there. I'm certainly not there, like I explained in the last episode. But 6 weeks, I'm certainly there. And I want you to just decide from today, like, okay, you are actually also at the level that you can manifest in 6 weeks, right? So I want to sort of like speak to you from this like standpoint, like really viewing you as the woman who just knows, okay, yes, and that's done. That's easy for me. I can call in this one big desire, even though I've already been calling it into my reality for years without any evidence of it showing up. It can now be done in 6 weeks. Okay, so just like soul to soul, sister to sister, I'm speaking to you on that level. And I want to talk about the frequency that we surround ourselves with. So I think this story about the comedian is the perfect intro for it, because we really don't surround ourselves often enough with the right frequency. And I am not talking about frequency, the people we hang out with, because that's a whole other story, or the the environment we are actually spending our times in. Like those are all topics for like other podcasts or whatever, but not for right now. I am talking about the frequency of sound. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you have heard before about Dr. Emoto. I think that's his name. Forgive me if I don't pronounce it the right way. I did a podcast about him like a couple of years ago with my friend Jennifer. And in that interview with Jennifer, she explained these beautiful results from Dr. Emoto, where he actually has these different crystals, I think, or water. And then um, at certain water glasses, it gets surrounded by certain words words or music, and then I'm like the worst in explaining things. Just look it up. I'm sorry. But I'll just explain my version of it. But I always get things twisted, so forgive me for that. It's not about the details, it's about the end conclusion. But anyways, if you take a glass of water and you surround it with beautiful like Mozart music, and then you do the same thing with the water and you do it with heavy metal music. I think that's what he did, and then he actually froze it, and then with the water that was surrounded with Mozart music, beautiful crystals came out, and then with the heavy metal, it was like the worst, right? And then there's this other experiment. Oh my God, I'm thinking to myself, how can you, like, I should have maybe looked it up, but like, that's not my style. I'm like, and it's not necessary. Like, you are all grown, self-led women, so you can Google it yourself. And then there's this other experiment where they do this with apples, right? So to the one apple, you can actually do this with kids. If you have kids, it's really fun. If you have kids who are old enough to understand it, so this one apple, I think you do it for a week, and you just speak like very loving words to the apple every day, and then to the other apple you are gonna say very negative and mean words. Like, even doing it is like, I want to do it again because I want to do the experiment. So but I think even doing it, like even saying the mean words to the apple, is gonna feel awkward. But what you will see after you have done the experiment is when you cut the apple in half, that the apple that you have actually spoken the nice words to have this beautiful inside, and then the other one where you spoke the negative words to is completely rotten on the inside. I have never done this experiment myself, so I I did it with plants, but it was a different experiment, but I've never done it with apples. So I want to do that actually somewhere this upcoming weeks, so I can experience it for myself. So I maybe do a follow up from this episode. One second. Yeah, my daughter is sleeping, so she sort of wanted to switch from one side to the other side. So I might do a follow up on this episode, but sound is so important. Okay, so I might not have done the experiment myself, but of course, I have done experiments on myself for many, many years, and I sort of experimented with what actually works and what doesn't work. And I just found that, like, sound is one of the easiest ways to shift your energy, sounds and words. So I recently started like listening to affirmations again in the morning. So I don't believe you can manifest, or that you actually manifest, by just saying positive affirmations to yourself, or by writing down all the things you're grateful for, or by reading law of attraction books, or by meditating. I don't believe like that's how you manifest, especially not if that feels like an extra thing on your to-do list, right? And um that's why I also explained in previous episodes that I don't actually do those things anymore. Because if we do it from that frequency, like if we do it from a conditioned way, like, okay, if I do this, then it will get me that result, that is not how manifesting works. So, manifesting is not even the right word, because we don't actually need to manifest anything. If you have a desire, it already exists on your highest timeline. So that's like one of the coolest things I got to experience the last couple of months, that the thing you want is already at your timeline. So the only thing you have to do, and the only job I have as your mentor, if you are stepping in one in one of my 6 week portals, I'm sorry. And sometimes I just get so excited that I'm like in my mind I speak faster, and then my words have to catch up or something. So anyways, if you step into one of my 6 weeks portals, that's my job, right? That's what I actually do during the 6 weeks portal. I help you go from the timeline you are currently at to your desired timeline where your desire already exists. So, sound and words are one of the most beautiful ways to get you there. My sound, my voice actually does a lot of the work during our like intense period of working together. So during those 6 weeks, a lot of my audios that I record for you, a lot of my activators that I record for you, that does the trick, right? Because it's the energy in my voice that sort of helps you go from the timeline you're currently at to the next timeline. It's not as easy as I'm like sketching it out right now. It's a little bit more complicated, but you catch the drift. So I started recently with putting on morning affirmations again. And I'm not doing that because I think, like, oh, if I put this on, then I'm gonna attract in my big desire. No, because I know by now that that's not how it works. It doesn't work that way. It's not about manifesting, it's not about calling anything in, it's becoming the energetic match to your new timeline, right? So it's our human nature to sort of worry, right? When we have time, when we have spare time, we tend to go into our minds, and especially the women who have an open head center, as I do, tend to go into their mind, and we sort of get stuck there in circles, right? And we just keep thinking over and over and over again the same stories, and it is exhausting. I'm pretty sure that everyone who's listening right now is like, yes, I can relate to that. So, what I started doing is I started putting on these morning affirmations while actually doing my just day-to-day course, like things, chores, right? So I just put them on while I'm making breakfast, while I'm connecting with my baby girl, while I'm having a conversation with my husband. I put it on like the whole morning, and then later in the afternoon, if I feel like I'm getting distracting again and I'm getting stuck in my mind again, I put it on again. Now, it might seem a little bit like rude almost, right? To have your ear plugs in with music or morning affirmations. However, I don't believe it's rude at all because by listening to those beautiful affirmations, I am actually more present in the moment because I am not in my mind, I'm in my body, I'm in my heart space, I'm in my womb area, I am connected, and in that connection, I'm actually making the connection with my husband, with my baby girl, and with whatever chore I'm actually doing at that moment in time. So, I think today's episode is really an invitation for you to start looking at your day to day life and to really sort of investigate where can I implement sound to sort of get me on the right frequency. So the whole trick is to sort of like um, imagine that you are like 95 or 96% of the time of the day you are actually sort of in your mind frequency. And in order to become an energetic match for your new timeline, in order to sort of even being able to skip timelines, we want to, yeah, it's so hard because they keep showing me visuals. And I'm like, how the hell do you guys want me to explain this? Okay, so what they are showing to me is like a visual of like you and then all your chakras. And they're showing me like in order to move to your next level timelines, you first need to be in connection, and they're showing me like at the middle of your body that connection needs to be made. So they showed me that some people are like more active in their top like chakras, and then some people are more active in their lower chakras. I am definitely somebody who is very active in my higher chakras. So if I tune into my crown chakra or into my third eye or my throat chakra, oh my god, they're like wow, they're like shining like crazy, right? It's like if you tap into that, it's like whoa, what the heck is going on here? Okay. But then when you go to my lower chakras, if I don't pay attention to that, if I'm not intentional with my energy, I tend to be very low, like low shining frequency in my lower chakras. So for me personally, it's very important to have a daily sort of ritual to make sure that I'm actually activating my lower chakras as much as the higher chakras. It needs to be in balance. And when it's in balance, then we can actually move to our next level timeline where the desire already exists. So I really want you to investigate, how can I do that? How can I implement sound in a way that actually my lower chakras and my higher chakras are sort of vibrating or shining at the same frequency, at the same level. It's like almost like a magic portal they're showing me. Like if you do this, then you have the magic wand. And with that magic wand, you can move forward. It's really cool. It's quite funny. They have never shown to me in this way. So it's a beautiful explanation. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so thank you guys for this amazing visual. And I really want to encourage you all to go and experiment with this. So, if you want to attract a dream husband or man or just lover into your life and you've been single your whole entire life, just go experiment with sound. Like, how cool would it be that if you just surrounded yourselves with different sounds and words? And I have like an in depth information coming through about this as well, because this goes beyond just surrounding yourselves with just sound. It's also the words you actually speak into reality. But they're showing me like, okay, that's not for now. Let's do that in a different episode. Um, but for now, the sound is it. The sound is it. So start looking into it. And yeah, they're just saying, okay, stop it right there. You don't need to tell them what to do. If they want to experience that with you, they can sign up for your 6 week portals. And if they want to experiment on this with themselves, then they can just Google it and just let their own, like, go on their own, like, little journey and research around this topic. But I'm telling you, there are beautiful, beautiful resources out there, and I know why they are so keen on me not sharing my actual um, sources, because they're showing me like this is really an invitation for you also to tap into your guides and to sort of start communicating with your guides more deliberately and just tell them, this is what I want, show me the right resources for me, because my resources are not your resources. Okay, so yeah, just go and play with this. And if you feel like, oh my God, yes, this feels so exciting. And if you like, just do this little experiment with this. And then just like, if you have some cool things show up in your physical reality, just let me know by DM on my Sophie's Choice International account or by email. I love hearing these things, and it gives me like, yeah, this gives me like fun new inspiration for new episodes. So if you have anything fun coming up this week for you around this topic, be sure to like share it with me. That will be so much fun. Okay, for now, I want to wish you an amazing, amazing evening. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. If you did, please, if you have like a little bit of time left right now, could you please go to iTunes and leave me a ranking? I actually never ask for that, but I feel like, yeah, so just ask for it, because this is such a beautiful, like, it's such a beautiful medium, right? To actually connect with soul aligned sisters, with like soul aligned priestess energies, sisters. And I feel like, yeah, we could do this together. Like, we could like really do this together and make sure that even more women can find this beautiful podcast by just leaving rankings. So if you can do that, it would be like such yeah, such a joy. And if you wanna not only leave a ranking but also leave a review, that would be just so much fun for me to read. So for now, I want to thank you. Have an amazing evening, and we'll talk soon on the next episode. Much love for now. Bye.